So the autonomous structure method is comprised of two circles, the outside one, which is a state of doing, and the inside one, which is the actual structure piece, if you will, here. So the outside one, there's 3 steps: learning how to organize, how to amplify, and how to release. This is cadence building. This is, as a CEO, the more that you embody this fluid 3-step process, the easier it's going to be for your sanity and for your team to really understand, follow, to catch your cadence and mirror it. That's really what gets a business getting the type of momentum you want. Is the cadence is set by the visionizer, the mobilizer knows how to move everyone else to do it, the strategizer figures out how to speed up the velocity of this, and so on and so forth, right? And it starts by the visionizer knowing how to go through a process or be led, at least facilitated, even if you can't do it on your own, that you're leaning on your resources to facilitate. How do you get more organized? How do we know what to amplify? Everything else we release because it's not in alignment with our values or what's on that one sheet that we just talked about a little bit earlier. So people who have used the autonomous structure method, some of our client case studies, they've gone from 60-hour work weeks to a 3-day schedule with no more than 5 hours of work per day. These are real case studies from people who have been in CEO Circle with me. They've successfully hired and installed department leads that allowed the CEO then to have space to double their business, right? Because that's the number one thing is like, I have so many creative ideas. I hear the CEOs and the visionizers tell me, and I know what we could do to be taking the business to the next level. I just can't get out of the day-to-day. I just can't get out of these emails. I just feel like the team has 50 million questions that I've asked again. We need one more meeting. I got this thing back finally and it's done, but it's wrong. How do I make space to go where my heart really wants to live, work, and play inside of my vision? Others have hired their first full-time mobilizer who helped them take their company from mid 6 figures to 7 figures in 12 months. Another one opened up space for them to be able to pursue passion projects that they had put on the shelf up till that point. So there's a lot of different ways that this will interpret and play out in alignment with your values and your individual vision. But that's what we've seen on a very practical scale. So here's why it works. Organize, amplify, and release is a 3-step ritual that creates compounded momentum. So in step 1, you're organizing. Some of the prompts might be like, what actions do I already do on a regular basis with pretty good accuracy that are just not organized, and or it always feels like they're all over the place. So either you're like, dude, I know this is important and I'm a hot mess, sorry, that kind of feeling, or the feeling of, oh, I can do it because it'll be really quick. I'm just going to do it because it'll be really quick. Odds are if you have things that fall into either of those buckets, you need a little bit of organization. You need some of those flexible structures, kind of like that one pager we had. You need a place to brain dump, to kind of sort it and put it, because your intuition is telling you, hey, these are some things that we need to get under control. Step 2 is amplify. So once I can see all the pieces that are out there, what things do I know will grow the company, but I've been putting them off because I just didn't have a good flow or space to get it done, or a clear picture, or I got stuck in figuring out how am I going to do it, or I felt imposter syndrome and I didn't give myself space to work through that because I needed to go and show up for the next client, right? What are some of the things that you already know that have been in your dreams, in your journaling, when you go on retreats, when you're somewhere inspired that you're like, dude, I can see it. Those are the things that we want to put in the amplify bucket. And finally, step 3 is releasing. What things do I hate doing? And or what things am I not good at that I need to take off of my plate? How can we create space? Okay. And I love this prompt all the time that I use with my team. What things do you hate doing? And I'm not promising that I can alleviate you of them, but I want to know. I at least want to know what's on your radar. And I'm asking myself that same question too. And it's this idea of we organize so that we see all the pieces there, so we have space to think about what we want to amplify. Then we go into what can we release to make space for the amplification, which then gives us a new list to organize that we learned how to amplify, and releasing the rest, so on and so forth. And it creates a compounded momentum that happens.